Rewarding.
Fascinating.
Fun.
Informative.
Disciplined.
Impactful.
Productive.
Thought-provoking.
Dynamic.
Enticing.
Practical.
Interesting.
Exhilarating.
Working with my mentor, it was very challenging, yet motivating.
The trading competition.
Doing the mock trading every day, it made it like the environment really upbeat and fun and competitive.
Playing golf with the rest of the interns in New York. We went to Battleground Country Club. We had a blast.
Definitely my mentor and the relationship I built with him over the course of the summer.
Able to visit the New York Stock Exchange and seeing really on the floor exactly how these operations work and seeing how the markets trade.
Coming in, I didn't know how frequently and how fast traders were in and out of positions, so that was very interesting to see.
My mentor was great. Everyone else at the firm I talked to is just fun, nice people.
It was an experience that challenged me both professionally and personally.
I learned more in 6 weeks than I learned in the past 10 years.
I think it transformed. The technology here is really nice. Lunch is also really good here provided, so that's very nice.
Understanding and seeing how things can change so fast, the good times and the bad times, it was very eye-opening.
It definitely is different than a traditional office job. You're more like on your own here.
Working alongside a bunch of people with similar interests as me.
I wasn't expecting the freedom that came with the role.
It was challenging, but it was also really fun.
I learned more in 6 weeks than I thought I could.
My project was a secondary trade off of a NVIDIA's earnings report.
So I looked for price discrepancies between an ETF and a stock and looked for arbitrage opportunities where the theoretical price is is different from the actual price of the stock.
I analyzed the trade on HubSpot and how Google didn't want to acquire them anymore while the stock went down, and a bunch of the traders on the floor traded it, and it was very interesting to see and present on.
I made an automated Excel sheet that analyzes earnings reports. It takes the last 5 earnings reports for any company or ticker you put in, and will analyze how, like, the entire earnings report, and then it gives you their price movement after the earnings the following day and the times at which there was big volumes the next day, so you can kind of see patterns. And it was really cool to see that with Tesla's earnings yesterday. I was able to see basically the exact pattern play out today that happened 3 quarters ago.
I did a presentation analyzing a trade that would be shorting HubSpot after news breaks that Google is not actually going to buy them out. And there was a beautiful trade right there. It drops 15% over the next 30 minutes. There's a lot of opportunity to make $1 million.
So my mentor had me research biotech catalysts. Just go through a calendar from Bloomberg, just trying to see which companies are going to move the most from like when their FDA approval dates were released or PDUFA dates. So I'd go through Bloomberg research, find analyst reports, see base case, bear case, bull case of how the stock is going to react when that data is released, and then I would put that into a report and then give it to him so hopefully he could use it and prep that catalyst so we could trade it.
My case study project was about a NVIDIA reversal trade, and it was about the reversal strategy that I had kind of talked about with my mentor early on in the internship. So I put together a slide deck about how I would execute and prepare for this reversal trade, and presented it to the interns, the mentors, and some of the other management that wanted to stop by.
I did a trade analysis of a cannabis ETF, and I analyzed how the news of cannabis being rescheduled to a Schedule 3 drug instead of Schedule 1 drug moved the stock price, and had investors' sentiment be positive or bullish on the stock because cannabis is now more legal than before.
I was analyzing M&A transactions, and then I did a semiconductor flowchart. So I had 2 projects. One of my first project was doing the top 5 equity gainers and losers from each previous day. And then I have a coding project. We use Python to code how to get basically a web scraper and scraping information to really get some information faster than others.
One case study I had to do was the map of semiconductor manufacturing sites around the world, and with
recent rise of tensions in Taiwan and China. This project I think will be very helpful for traders on the floor to know what companies might be affected by rise of tensions.
So I studied a trade on earnings for Salesforce and kind of see how the price movement reacted off of a failed earnings. And then I did a lot of research into what the secondary stocks that are part of the same industry, how they moved off that same news, and it was really interesting seeing kind of a holistic view on how the market reacted off of one company's results.
The project that I was given involves scraping Bloomberg and outputting the important keywords and using AI to summarize the articles.
My internship case study project was on the Tesla trade of July 2nd. That is the day they released the delivery and production numbers. And in this, the stock went up a significant percentage, and it was a very interesting project to go through. I got to talk about why the stock went up, analyze the different movements, and how I would have traded it.
I looked at a trade of Rivian, and it's an EV automaker that had an investment of up to $1 billion by Volkswagen, and it was a similar trade to similar company XPeng a year ago that also had a $700 million investment by Volkswagen. Both made joint ventures and both stocks did very well. They both shot up to the moon, so looked at that trade.